Today we are doing a marble tip using gel polishes and encapsulating with acrylic, so a bit of a mix-up. I'm using the Planet Nails Competition Clear Coffin tips here, sizing it up, and because this tip was a little bit too big, I gave it a trim evenly on both sides. I used the Planet Nails brush on resin to adhere the tip, angling the tip downwards for 3 to 5 seconds before adhering and holding it on for a further 5 to 10 seconds. Using a 100/180 grit file, shaping the sidewalls of the tip to taper it in a little bit more. When shaping for a coffin, I always start at the tip and work my way into the sidewall, keeping the file straight and being very careful not to overfile. Then just blending in the tip into the natural nail very gently. This is my Planet Nails size 10 acrylic brush, and I'll be using Laney for my reverse French bead. Isn't she pretty? Place your first bead roughly 5 mil away from the cuticle and always angle the nail down. When you're doing a reverse French, never allow the brush to come into contact with the smile line, as this will only flatten it or ruin your shape. If you're angling the nail downwards and your beads are perfectly round, pan acrylic is self-leveling and the bead will simply fall down the nail perfectly. Use the tip of your brush to form and clean up your smile line. Can you see here how the bead is the same thickness from left to right? This is what you want when you're doing a reverse bead. Place your cuticle bead 2 to 3 mil away from the cuticle, allow it to self-level, and then gently use your brush to guide it as close as possible to the cuticle, whilst working quickly. Then blend it into the first bead. Once it's fully set, use your file perpendicular to your smile line and file it until it is nice and sharp. I always file the top of my reverse bead. This is just to make sure I get my desired thickness for the following beads to match. This is Planet Nails gel polish in the colour Gem. Polish the tip white and cure for 60 seconds in an LED lamp. I chose to do a black border using PN Lex to outline the perfect smile line that I have here. You'll see how effective doing a black border really is. Make sure you paint up to and on the smile line and cure. Mix your chosen colours. I chose to go with a pink colour palette, and I also mixed in some base gel with the silver chrome to give some depth to the colours. Then I created a gentle swirl in the polish with a brush. I'm using an ombre brush today, however you can use any gel brush that you have available. I also used glaze as my base to allow the polish to bloom into each other, don't cure. Pick up the gel polish and gently allow it to blend into the glaze coat, creating different angles and directions in the way that you apply it. Once you're happy, cure. You can encapsulate over gel polish very successfully. Just leave the tacky layer there. There's no need to apply top coat before encapsulating. I always apply a thin wet bead first, as this will prevent bubbling and will ensure the design is very crisp and clear. When you're encapsulating, I always use the thickness of that first bead to guide my beads so I don't add any thickness to the nail as I'm encapsulating, making finish filing a lot quicker and easier. The secret to encapsulating is just to be patient. Wait for that bead of clear to turn matte before beginning to work with it, ensuring you are patting it with the belly of your brush and not pulling or dragging it. I always shape my nail before beginning to debulk or finish file. Begin filing your side walls, holding the nail perfect and straight. This is the medium True to Jack. When going around the cuticle, I have it set on speed 10. Then I use it on a speed 35 when debulking, ensuring I use the middle of the True to Jack and placing it flat to the nail until I reach the height of the reverse bead I first created. I do this until I'm satisfied with the thickness, so I only need a little bit of hand filing to finish it off. I hand file using a 100/180 grit file, always starting at the cuticle and working towards the free edge. I do this until I feel the surface is completely flat all around and there are no lumps and bumps. Always buff before top coating too. I chose to put crystals on this nail and I adhere my crystals with Lastic. I place it only where I need it, ensuring it is quite thick to really encapsulate and protect the edges of my crystals. This is just a little wax pencil I use to pick up the Swarovski crystals, and I press them into the Lastic. Once you're happy with your design, don't cure. Finish off with your favourite no wipe top coat, smoothing out the wet lipstick at the same time. My top coat had some leftover pigment in it, but I think it gave it quite a nice effect. And she is all done.